The whispers of change, Ivory Coast in the spotlight. Recently, Ivory Coast found itself at the center of unsettling news. Around May 20th to May 22nd, rumors of a military coup began to circulate. These reports caused significant concern, both within the country and internationally. Ivory Coast, known for its vibrant culture and economic importance, seemed to be facing a crisis. The whispers grew into a roar, amplified by modern communication. People were anxious to understand what was happening in Abidjan. Social media platforms played a major role in spreading these coup rumors. False claims moved rapidly, creating a wave of misinformation. Some posters alleged that President Alassane Ouattara had been killed. Others claimed he had fled the country or was missing. One ex-user, Mehmet Veyfadag, was noted for making such assertions. On Facebook alone, thousands of users engaged in discussions about the supposed coup. This rapid, unchecked spread of information highlighted the challenges of navigating news in the digital age. Reports described gunfire and chaos in parts of Abidjan. Some sources suggested that this was the beginning of a large-scale military coup or a significant civil uprising. Adding to the alarm, some social media posts alleged nationwide internet disruptions. These serious allegations, though later proven false, contributed to a climate of fear. The world waited to see how Ivorian authorities would respond to these alarming developments. Debunking the noise officials' stance on coup rumors. Thankfully, clarity soon emerged. The Ivorian presidency took decisive steps to counter the swirling rumors. On May 22, 2025, President Alassane Ouattara chaired a Council of Ministers meeting. The presidency released an official statement confirming his attendance. They also shared pictures from the meeting. These actions provided concrete evidence that President Ouattara was safe and in control. This official communication was crucial in calming the rising tide of panic and speculation. Christelle Kouame, an Ivorian journalist, affirmed that the country was calm. She noted that President Ouattara had attended the Africa CEO Forum just the week before. Ms. Kouame specifically refuted claims of internet disruptions, stating that access remained normal. Her insights, coming from on the ground, provided valuable reassurance. Adding to the official denials, an anonymous source from the ECOWAS Parliament also dismissed the coup rumors. The fact that no major international news channels had confirmed a coup was also significant. The Ivorian embassy in Abuja, Nigeria, had also not reacted to the rumors by a certain point, indicating a lack of crisis from their perspective. As of today, May 22, 2025, Ivory Coast is stable under President Ouattara's leadership. The swift actions by the presidency and corroborating reports effectively debunked the misinformation. The episode serves as a powerful reminder of how quickly false narratives can spread in our interconnected world. The focus can now return to the nation's ongoing development and political processes. The original domino effect, military takeovers in West Africa. The anxiety surrounding the Ivory Coast rumors did not arise in a vacuum. Recent years have seen a concerning trend of military takeovers in the West African region. Countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea have all experienced successful coups. These events have fundamentally altered the political landscape of the Sahel and surrounding areas. Each instance of unconstitutional change of government sends ripples across the continent. This series of military interventions has created what some call a coup belt across West Africa. The success of these takeovers in one nation can inadvertently embolden similar actions in others. For a nation like Ivory Coast, which shares borders and regional ties with some of these affected countries, the proximity of such events is a constant concern. The fear is that political instability could be contagious, spreading from one nation to the next. This regional context undoubtedly fueled the rapid spread and initial believability of the Ivorian coup rumors. The fact that the rumors were false brought a collective sigh of relief, particularly within ECOWAS and among international partners committed to constitutional rule. Echoes of the past. Ivory Coast's journey through political turmoil. Ivory Coast's own history is marked by periods of significant political volatility. This historical context makes the nation particularly sensitive to any whispers of coups or widespread unrest. A pivotal moment was the 1999 coup d'etat. This event ended decades of relative stability since independence and ushered in a new era of political uncertainty. The memory of this event lingers in the national consciousness. Following the 1999 coup, the country experienced further turmoil. The First Ivorian Civil War, which lasted from 2002 to 2007, was a deeply divisive period. The conflict effectively split the country between the government-controlled South and the rebel-held North. It caused immense suffering and displacement. The long and difficult road to peace and reunification left lasting scars on the society. More recently, the Second Ivorian Civil War erupted in 2010 to 2011. This conflict followed a disputed presidential election. The ensuing violence led to the tragic loss of over 3,000 lives. President Ouattara eventually assumed office, but the crisis underscored the fragility of democratic transitions. This entire history contributes to a heightened awareness of political risks. It explains why rumors of a coup, even if false, can generate such immediate and widespread concern among the Ivorian population and international observers. Section 5. Economic Realities and Aspirations. Ivory Coast's Path Forward. Despite its history of political challenges, Ivory Coast has demonstrated remarkable economic resilience and growth in recent years. The nation has achieved an average annual economic growth rate of over 6%. This performance is impressive, especially when compared to many other countries in the region and globally. This growth has been driven by various sectors, including agriculture, services, and increasing investment. This economic dynamism positions Ivory Coast as a key economic player in West Africa. Specific examples highlight this positive economic trajectory. For instance, on May 14, 2025, Africa Global Logistics announced a significant investment. The company committed 60 million euros to develop inland logistics infrastructure. This investment aims to strengthen transport networks within Ivory Coast and with neighboring countries. Such projects are vital for boosting trade, creating jobs, and improving overall economic efficiency. Continued investment, both domestic and foreign, is crucial for sustaining this growth momentum and improving living standards for all Ivorians. The crucial link between political stability and continued economic progress cannot be overstated. Rumors of coups or any form of significant instability can quickly jeopardize economic gains. Therefore, maintaining political stability is not just a political goal. It is an economic imperative for Ivory Coast. Section 6. The People's Voice, Discontent, and Calls for Sovereignty. While the recent coup rumors in Ivory Coast were ultimately debunked, some reports during the period of uncertainty attempted to explain potential motivations for unrest. These reports pointed to alleged widespread dissatisfaction with President Alassane Ouattara's administration. Among the accusations cited in these reports were claims of severe human rights abuses. Increased poverty was another concern, reportedly fueling discontent among some segments of the population. Furthermore, some reports highlighted criticism of the Ouattara-led government's perceived deep ties with French influence. Protesters, according to these unverified accounts, accused the administration of being a puppet of foreign powers, particularly France and the United States. This reported anti-foreign sentiment is part of a wider, growing desire across Africa for genuine national sovereignty and self-determination. And Section 7, A Continent's Dream, the vision of a United States of Africa. Across the African continent, there is a growing and palpable Pan-African sentiment. Many people express a feeling of being tired of long-standing patterns of foreign influence and economic exploitation. The sentiment is not confined to one country or region. It is a widespread aspiration. This movement is gaining momentum among youth, intellectuals, activists, and ordinary citizens alike. The ambitious vision of the United States of Africa is often invoked. This idea, though challenging to implement, symbolizes the deep aspiration for political and economic integration. Proponents envision a continent where internal borders are less significant, where trade flows freely between African nations, and where Africa speaks with a stronger, unified voice on the global stage. Section 8. Navigating the Future. The upcoming 2025 elections. A significant event on Ivory Coast's political horizon is the upcoming presidential election, scheduled for October 2025. This election will be a critical juncture for the nation. Given Ivory Coast's history and the current regional climate, this election will be closely watched, both domestically and internationally. The stakes are high for continued peace and development. The recent coup rumors, though ultimately proven false, could have an impact on the political atmosphere leading up to the election. Such events, even when based on misinformation, can create a sense of unease and heighten political tensions. Ensuring a calm and secure environment will be crucial for a credible electoral process. The importance of a free, fair, and transparent electoral process cannot be overemphasized. For the outcome to be accepted and for democracy to be strengthened, all eligible citizens must be able to vote without fear or intimidation. Many Ivorians hope for a peaceful contest that further consolidates the country's democratic gains. Navigating these hopes and fears successfully will require strong leadership, civic responsibility, and a commitment from all stakeholders to peaceful democratic processes. Section 9. Beyond the rumors, stability, unity, and the African horizon. To summarize the recent events in Ivory Coast, the alarming rumors of a military coup have been officially and credibly debunked. President Alassane Ouattara remains in control, and the country is stable. However, this episode serves as a potent reminder of the volatile nature of information in the digital age. While Ivory Coast has navigated this particular scare, the broader issues and trends affecting West Africa remain pertinent, require ongoing attention from leaders and citizens. The power of social media to rapidly disseminate both information and misinformation is a double-edged sword. While it can be a tool for citizen engagement and transparency, it can also be exploited to create chaos and division. This underscores the critical need for media literacy. Citizens must be equipped to critically evaluate the information they encounter. Responsible journalism and swift, clear communication from official sources are also indispensable in countering false narratives. Despite these challenges, there is an enduring and hopeful vision for Africa's future. The recent events in Ivory Coast, while unsettling, ultimately reaffirmed the importance of truth and stability.